Ladies and gentlemen, the talk of reparations around the country has not gone anywhere. People are still trying to come up with a plan to give out reparations. So San Francisco debates reparations, 5 million each for their black residents. And, here comes the conservatives. Oh, it's going to ruin the city. It's going to make us broke. Really? It's amazing how reparations for other people did not make you broke. And y'all didn't complain about going broke either. But as soon as some of that reparations is for us, all of a sudden you're going to go broke. And we got to hear and listen to your whining about us getting reparations. I mean, it's so typical. Tasked with calculating how much San Francisco should pay its Black residents for decades of discrimination, a government appointed panel didn't develop a mathematical formula. So instead, over the past year and a half, 15 members have studied the city's history. In the 1960s, city leaders demolished part of Fillmore District, a neighborhood once known as the Harlem of the West, displacing 883 businesses and 20,000 people, most of them Black. Decades later, thousands of people remain displaced, and the neighborhood has turned into a predominantly white enclave of multi-million dollar homes. That was the whole purpose of running the Black residents out of there. That was the whole point. Compensate for that and other instances of racial discrimination, the City African American Reparations Advisory Committee recently recommended that qualifying Black residents receive $5 million each in reparations. There wasn't a math formula. Eric McDowell, chair of the Reparations Committee, and the principal of Peacock Partnerships, a San Francisco based consulting firm. It was a journey for the committee towards what could represent a significant enough investment in families to put them on the path of economic well being, growth, and vitality that chattel slavery and all the policies that flowed from it destroyed. The proposed reparation program is not recompense for slavery, which was never legal in San Francisco, but instead the committee reports that the public policies explicitly created to subjugate Black people in San Francisco by upholding and expanding the intent and legacy of chattel slavery. Across the country, more than a dozen cities and states have begun developing reparations programs, attempting to qualify the financial damage brought by slavery and decades of Jim Crow laws. Some proposals envision offering scholarships or housing vouchers, while others call for Black Americans to receive cash payments. It's got to be cash payments or it's not reparations. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, so San Francisco's $5 million proposal, magnitudes larger than amounts being discussed in other communities, has drawn intense backlash from conservative who lambasted the idea as financial ruinous for the city. Y'all always say that when it comes down to us, but when it comes down to other reparations given out, y'all didn't say a word. So don't want to hear from you now. With an annual budget of $14 billion that is still recovering economically from the pandemic, the proposal doesn't explain who would qualify. But if even a fraction of the city's 50,000 Black residents met the criteria, it would consume a huge amount of the city's budget. I don't care what your budget is, and I don't care if it would. Deal with it. Deal with it. Get through it the best that you can. So ladies and gentlemen, you're going to always get the opposition, the people that want you to stay at the bottom and they don't want you to rise any higher. You're going to hear from these people throughout all of these talks that are going on. But nevertheless, you still move forward, you know. And as far as divisions, how can we make divisions in a country that already got divisions? I don't want to hear from that. If you want to talk all that divisive stuff, you can miss me with it. How can we be divisive in a country that's always been divided? Don't want to hear from you. So, anyway, even some within the reparations movement have dismissed the figure as unrealistic. So, I mean, they're still in the phase of debating this whole thing out. No decisions haven't been made, but they do have to, just like all of the other locations that are working with task force for reparations, they have to come up with a plan. And they still got a lot of time before a plan has to be done. So calling for $5 million payout by a local government undercuts the credibility of the reparations effort. This is just one person's opinion. But supporters of the proposal say it's justified, noting that the city's Black residents have a median income of $44,000 compared with $85,000 for Latinos, $105,000 for Asians, and 113,000 for white residents, according to the 2021 census. The scale of the payment should be weighed against San Francisco's history of racist policies, including enforcing housing and school segregation. This is what Cheryl Evans Davis, executive director of the San Francisco Human Rights Commission, said, which provides research support to the Reparations Committee. The city also has one of the highest costs of living in the country, with a median home price of $1.3 million, she said. Yeah, if y'all did get that settlement, you really need to get out of California because that money will be gone in no time living there. So, how San Francisco settles the debate, well, we'll see. They're still in talks. I mean, nothing has been decided. Setting a high water mark for an effort that has been criticized for so far producing small sums. And it just goes into how Evanston came up with what they call reparations, which is not reparations, as a $25,000 housing voucher. And Rhode Island, they announced reparations, but they only want to put up $10 million for a program for reparations. And nobody is feeling that at all. So we shall see. I'm definitely going to follow the stories coming out of California because right now they seem to be moving the fastest on this issue. I mean, they got a task force here in my state and many states across the country right now, but they seem to be progressing a lot more than many of the other states that got reparation task force. So I'm definitely going to keep my eye on what's happening out in California. So, y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.